folks. My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And we're creating an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting. It's called Crystals in My Bar. You can see the book cover here on screen. We're going to do some artwork. We're going to do some page art for the adventure. So give me a second here for me to first check in on my signal, make sure that I'm coming through clear, and do some quick social media bumps. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. If the sound volume is off, like between the music in the background and the actual my talking, please do let me know. I've been fiddling around with the balance. I think it's probably sitting okay, but it's nice to have feedback from other folks. So I'm almost done with my social media posting, which means we're about to get started here. I stream Monday through Fridays in the morning like this, doing artwork, and then good morning. And I do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights. So we're currently creating an Eberron Spelljammer campaign to playtest some of the new Spelljammer mechanics that I've been developing, also here on stream. So you can check out yesterday's stream if you want. It would be the D&D Adventure Design episode number 2. I'm done with my social media posts, so I can now drop these things out of the way and fix my screen, and then we can get to work. So if you think, if you check out the channel today and you think some of this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. I'll tell you, here's a bunch of books that I've already created on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews, so you can click on this, click on a random link, like Spelljammer here. You can click on that, and then you can click on this free preview here. You click on that and it'll pop open the PDF for you. All of the books I publish are 100% free preview. You take a look at the book, and then if you think it adds value to your game, then you pay me. So I don't want you to have to spend money to find out if you like this book. I would like for you to like this book and then buy it to encourage similar behavior in the future. So this is all my art. These are all my token designs, my cartography. These are all mechanics for moving ships in space at higher speeds, anywhere from 5 feet per round to 100 million miles per day. This has a scaling combat and mechanical system using, depending on the ship roll that you're holding right now, the action economy of your characters in 5e. This has been a really, really fun system to develop to add depth to the Spelljammer or just flight combat in general for 5e. It works at all scales. So that's the pitches, and without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off here and get started. So we made this book cover around episode 40. We're currently at episode 582. So we're really, really getting close to being done with this. This is the illustration that we're working on currently, and I will show you how this thing looks. If we blip there and then we add in the text here, I've got some corrections to make, so ignore that for the second, but this is how the page fits into the 16:9 format. It's a little off today. Let's squeeze it in. There we go. Photoshop doesn't do good for fit to screen manually, ironically. But this is the screen. It's a 16:9 format, so you can, on a device, you can see the full spread here. If you turn it horizontally, each column also is a 16:9 format, so that works out really well. Obviously, we're doing a lot more illustration than this page calls for, but I started making books because I wanted to commission myself to make the kind of art that I like to make. And I like to make Bob Ross forests and stuff, so I'm making a page out of it. And if we're only using a portion of it, so be it. We'll still have this forest on tap for us to make use of in the future. So right now we're working on, let's get Salgu and his divining pool out of the way. Let's drop back down into the tree line down here. This is where we're at right now. This is the tree that we're on. I'm going to actually, technically we're not on this tree, but it's grabbing my attention, so I'm going to work on it now while I can. So we'll put in the tree trunk here like this, and have this great little lump of roots hanging down here. Even though it's going to be concealed by the character in the foreground, I want the forest just to look good for the sake of looking good. So let's go ahead and add that in. That's a little bit too conical, so I need to trim this down a smidge like that. We're making trees today. But hey, isn't that just a forest? And I really appreciate everyone that showed up last night and hung out with me while I was doing the campaign design for the Eberron Spelljammer campaign. That was super fun to work on the communities and to set up the environment around them. I'm looking forward to continuing that on Thursday. We're going to further flesh out each of the individual settlements in the asteroid community and start building a framework for how each week it's a bashing campaign, which means that each week a new adventure. I expect each week to be like 4 sessions, so like maybe 12 hours worth of game per week, and then gain a level during that time. That's going to be a pretty fast timeline from like a world from a world view perspective. The campaign's going to move fast, and the character's going to gain levels, but it's going to feel stretched out. It's going to go from level 5 to 13. And with God's grace, it's going to end up being a lot of fun, and we'll have an opportunity to use the Mecha Kaiju mechanics a lot, just to see how things shake out. Let's thin this down. I think it's going to turn out good. There we go. There. Okay, that tree looks good. So we're going to let him sit. Punto. The next thing that's up on tap is here's our foliage, more foliage, more foliage. What's going on here? Nothing. All right, this is our this is going to be our trunk texture layer. Let's drop down here where this is at. And let's see if this needs to be straightened up somehow. Oof, look at that chunkiness getting chopped out of that. That's weird. Let's fix this. Let's fix this. Get rid of the weird chunkiness on that. Here. And again, a lot of this is just going to get concealed by the foreground character once we add him back in, but I want this piece to stand alone as a forest piece that I could put up as stock art. I've never been deep into the stock art scene. I don't know what it was about creating stock art that felt weird to me. Like to make that a product, like to have my business be built around making stock art or maps for people. Technology just keeps getting better, and I can see the relevance of stock art versus AI. Is a massive conflict, and for people that want to save money or cut corners, AI is the obvious decision. Can't imagine having to base my mortgage on whether or not somebody's willing to buy my stock art right now or not. That would be terrifying to me. So I feel my lack of engagement and effort into putting stock art out there as my sole business model. I feel protected. But having said that, I will be putting up stock art, not necessarily so much that I want to build a business out of it, but extra coin is always nice. But I think it's a means of people being able to show low cost appreciation. So I want that to be available. There, I'm gonna trim that down a little bit like that to help create some topography that we'll be able to continue working on in here. I'm gonna push this out like this and making a little earthy knoll. I think that'll end up being fun in the end. All right, so let's add this back in. Let's go to here. Oops. Let's go to here. Get rid of that because that's off and weird. This is now off and weird as well. Let's trim that down accordingly. Let's grab this block of color. Let's go back to the brush that we're using. And now we're back on task. So this was a 200 pixel brush that we were using along this edge here. So let's continue that endeavor. Forever endeavor. And we're gonna switch to this brush again as our eraser at like 25%, 23%, good enough. Trim that down a little bit to work on curvature. Again, branches are just cylinders. So as long as we treat the lighting as cylinders and we pay attention to where our light source is at, this is gonna end up just panning itself out.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Gabby.
You're the first to respond today. Hello. You are most welcome here. Working on branches. Let's trim this down. The light is coming from vaguely right-hand side of the illustration, so I'm biasing highlights in that direction. Like that, and then we trim it down a little bit as a cylinder, but there's also some light coloring along the inside here. It's just a lot of stipple placement, like very intentional. It's like it's kind of like Japanese block art, if you're familiar with that. Like they dip, like they'll have the shape of a tree, they'll dip it in ink, and then they'll stamp it on in, you know, aesthetically pleasing positions. Where is that coming from? Sorry, there's an oddity in here. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Hold on, I've got a flaw in here I need to fix. There. Flaws. Hey, what's up?
I'm stressed today. My sister had her tongue cancer removed. Oh my god.
Good luck to her. That's terrifying. Wow, what a life challenge.
Sorry if that sounds trite, but God.
I wish her well. All right, that highlight feels pretty good.
Trim that down a smidge. Add a little bit more into here. Trim that down a little bit with erase.
All right, so we got the highlights here looking pretty good. I can add a little bit on here.
erase all that. I have to chisel at it because I don't want to change the strength settings. Gabby, how's the sound value? How's the volume balance between the music and and me talking? I don't know if it's balanced well. I think it's balanced well, but it's been a little shaky lately. So okay, cool. Thank you. Need to trim that down just a smidge, add in this layer here. Trim that down, erase on this a little bit, just to get that, again, that cylinder sort of look to it. Trim this up a little bit here like that. And now we'll find a shadow layer. We have that and that, so what I want to do is drop this down here like this. That should probably be okay. What the? Get out of here. Layer that in here like that. This is too dark, so we're going to lighten it. But it's easy for me to pick out the texture this way, that's for sure. I will probably back this off to like 75%. On it a little bit. There we go. Erase that at 20-something%. Feather this curve down into here so it blends together well. I want it darker in the middle and lighter along the edges, as opposed to stronger on the edges and then lighter on the interior for the highlights. That's how you get these things to blend properly. Add more lighting up here to darken this in, as shadows do, like that. Here, up into here, it's gonna be darker. Darken that in here like that. That is my 20-minute timer, just to keep me on track. We're doing good. We should have about an hour, about an hour or so left. So we should be able to resolve this branch, and we can put like a little branch line in here like this, and up like that. Some easy depth, a little more variety. bits here. Trim it down. Erase those frayed edges. Chop that up a little bit. Add in some dark over here. Add some dark here. I'm going to actually smudge this. And then cut through the smudge. Like that. Thin that down a little bit. There we go. Chop that up.
Hey, what's up? I'm gonna stay home while everyone else goes to care for the animals.
Right on. Well, you are welcome to hang here as long as you want. Clean up here like that. I think that's probably pretty good. There. Hey, it's a tree. There, and there. Not bad. That's a tree. One down. The further back we get, the less I need to worry about details on the trees. These being the closest two trees need the most detail. So we start off with the most detail needed, so that as we move further away in the piece, we can reduce the amount of detail and work that I'm putting into each piece. So you put the work up front, and the rest of it becomes easier as you move further back. That is a technique that that makes digital, I feel, superior to traditional painting in that sense. I don't have to build it back forward and anticipate everything that I need to do beforehand. I can just go as I go and then add layers into any level of depth of the layers that we've been putting on. Traditional media doesn't have that benefit. It's really difficult to do that with oil. But that is the advantage we find ourselves in. So we're going to play that up. Let's go into here and do the same thing that we did over there. So we'll go with the 200 pixel brush initially, and we'll start with the highlight layer.
So we'll start with a highlight layer. Thank you. Go in here like that. Again, we're just running the line. Scratch away at that. Again, we're just creating a highlight edge for the cylinder that is the trunk and branches. There we go. We can do a lot of shadow in there, but I want to dot this in here like that. Bring this all the way down here like that. Down here. Good. And then along the edge here. Like that. Dot some of this in here like that. Now let that fade in here. Like that. Then the other edge, trim that down. Get that like that. There we go. Good, and now we can trim this down a little bit, erase it some. Keep that, again, cylinder, you can tell it's a cylinder by relying on the shadow of the curved shadow that bleeds off as you get closer to the middle, away from the light source behind it. There we go, and we can bring this branch to the foreground by curving its base into the trunk here, while this one is receding to the background because it is behind the circular trunk. Because that's how stacking objects works. Overlapping. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. I just don't know what it is right now. There we go. Straighten that edge up a little bit. That feels really good. Nice. Okay. I feel like that feels kind of flat to me, so I'm going to go back into here. And mess around with this for another few. Down along here. It just feels a little, yeah, flat. Flat's the right term. Let's fill that in like that a little bit. And we can peck at it. Some erase. feels better. That does feel better. I'm happy with that. Very good. And what a fun conundrum. Let's take. I feel like I had the wrong color going. No, those are the same. Okay, just had to do a quick gut check. Actually feels pretty good. Let's do that. And we'll take another layer here. We're going with our shadow now, so let's just add in some shadow. Just blip it in. Blip, blip, blip. There we go. I'm just gonna smudge this. Defining some of these branches in here, just making them pop out a little bit by darkening them a little. That'll do. Push this up here like that. And now we use a subtle eraser. Oh, fudge. I have to do a lot of erasing because I was using the wrong layer. Fudge. That's okay. This will all work out. Yeah, this will work out. Alright, well, I gotta fill this back in because I fucked up. I like the shadow and the highlights to be on separate layers, but when I paint them wrong, I gotta do it over again. Hey, what's up? Hey, Steve, it's good to see you, my guy.
All right, we're fixing mistakes. Clickety, clickety. Here we go. 20% eraser is good. There. Turn that up a smidge. That should be fine. Now we can get back to. This. Tap this in. Bark. Bark, 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 bark. Yep, that's what we're working on. Bark, 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 bark. Highlight. Here's our shadow. You can trim down the curve of the shadow here. There we go. 200 pixel size is correct. We'll flip this over here to work with the shape of the trunk. Reduce the size of it as we get down into this curve here. There, erase this. Drop that down in there. I'm gonna do some smudging in here. Straighten that up. Trim this down a little bit like that. There we go. Shape up a little bit there. Drop this in here like that. There we go. That feels pretty good. Trim down this a little bit here. Make it more easily integrate into the foreground. There. Pretty happy with those, I think. Can I? Nah, I'm gonna leave it be. I think that contrast is good. Put some branches in. Where it feels right. It feels pretty good. Hey, that's a tree. I'm happy with it. Feels good. Next, tree. Let's drop these together. Those are pretty good to go, I think, as is. The next line,
Let's see. We're going to start digging through all these trees back here. We don't have to do nearly as much texture work on them, but we do need to do some. So that tree is there. This one needs some love. It's Tuesday here, the 28th of October. I had anticipated having the forest portion of this done by tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, which is okay because I'm working on stuff off screen as well. So after 580 episodes, I don't think I need to worry about being in a hurry. I just want it to look good. And it's going to look fucking good. There. That feels pretty good. Honka Drunk. All right. That one feels pretty good. Let's trim you a tig. Good. All right. So I'm just going to go through here and just clean up all the trunks for now. Seems to be where we're at in the process. Let's merge these together. Blend that down into here. Switch to a round brush for the rest of this portion of the project. We'll get back into the chisel once we are actually ready to start highlighting stuff. These trees, as they move further and further back, they need less and less detail. I don't have to worry about trunk coloring too much. Like, it's just going to be a taste. Down there, and then over on this side of the page, let's blend that down into the ground. Push this out. There we go, like that. It's looking pretty good. These are a little bit thicker. There we go. Very good. All right, that's clean. Let's move on to the next layer. Push these down. Thin this up
just a smidge and then thicken it here. I don't seem to have a lot of conversation in me today. I don't know why that is, and I want to entertain you guys, but at the same time, my brain's just doing whatever my brain's going to do. Let's kick over here. Yeah, clean this one up. Are we having an opacity issue over here, buddy? No. There. That'll do. Next up. Whoa, what the deuce is going on over here? Okay. Merge all that nonsense down. There we go. Trim that in. Branch, blend, branch, blend. That looks pretty good. And over here, looking at this ugly Saurus. Beautiful ugly tree. Be like that. This curves up into here. This is thin that down. Have this solid line running through here. Make that trunk a little more realistic. There we go. Straighten that up a little bit. Yep, we're just gonna be doing this for a while. I don't know. Maybe we'll get the trunks done this set. How much time do I got left? I've got 40 minutes left, so I'm going to reset my clock just to calibrate a little bit better. $40 minutes. Yeah, we'll get these trunks cleaned up here probably next 5, and then we'll start putting in the trunk texture for the rest of these trees that we're building out. And then we'll be able to start working on ground scrub. Oof, got a lot going on over here. All right. One, two, 3, 4. Merge. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going to ignore all whatever is going on back there and just focus on the immediate here and now. Why does that keep changing like that? This is only at 93%. 100%. That's why.
Everything makes sense now.
There we go. Thin that down. Keep that thin. Down. That feels really, really good. I love that. Pull that down into the ground.
That feels really good.
Okay.
And then over here, looking at this guy. Set that like this. Clean that up a little bit. There, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And this should be the last layer that I'm working on for the trunks. Then we can get back to working on, merge down, the bark. Bark, 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 bark. There. Straighten this out. Nice. There. Very good. Okay, that feels really, really good. And then over here, just gotta straighten this one out. Clean that trunk up a little bit here. And then just blending it down in, just using a smudge brush to push it straight. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Tree's looking good. Okay, cool. So we got those all established. Now we can go back up in here and yeah, let's, I guess, mess around with this one first. Let's see. It feels more foregroundy, so it feels like it should probably be a little bit darker. Let's merge this down.
Yeah, that looks better already. Cool. Okay, and so we have this branch color, trunk color. We have this trunk color. I bet neither one of them are going to be good. Let's find out. I'm wondering. Okay, so I want to switch back to my my branch brush. Now I'm wondering. Can I maybe do this? What size brush is 175? That seems appropriate. Let's take this and we'll just dot our way down here into the ground. Eraser down to like 30% ish. I think I'm just gonna erase along the edge here and erase along the edge here to create our highlights, and then keep this mid-tone in the middle. Very simple bark. Honestly, I think that's probably good enough. All right, I see where we're at. Let's do the same thing here. Yeah. I'm going to use a lighter opacity on the brush here. 50% value. Flip this over. Just run down the line here, to the middle, down into the ground. Then our eraser's at 30%, so we can pick at these edges a little bit here. Darker in the middle. Trim up the edges a little bit. Just whittle it down. Add it back in. Whittle it down. It's just stippling. It's just stippling with a long straight line. But the end results are pretty good. It's just a fun little technique. It's an easy little cheat. But that's all we're doing here anyway. We're just trying to trick the eye into believing something's here that's not, just for the sake of the art. Let's trim that up and straighten that out. There we go. Feels just about done. that'll do. And then let's kick on over to here. And here we got that one. 175. And oops. We'll do a bolder color, but still just light stippling. Dot that in here like that. There we go. See, it's super easy just to drop these patterns in here like that, and then just we erase some of it, and it's good to go. Eraser at 20% looks pretty good, so we know that the light is like over in this direction in general, so we're going to trim it in that direction accordingly. A little bit of backlighting here, and we can add in a little more shadow here into the fore. Let's get that curve going. There, really, really simple. Yeah, we're gonna let that sit. And the next one. Okay, that looks good. So let's proceed here. Same thing we did for the other one, just scratching in some texture here, and then we'll erase at it to get the cylindrical lighting. Very, very easy. So erase, erase, just a little bit along the edge here. Erase just a smidge along the edge here. Very simple. Like, these aren't requiring a lot of work at all because we did most of the work up front here at the main trees. These guys off to the side become less and less important. They're just NPCs. NPC trees off to the side, just adding volume to the space. And we're going to take the same, we're going to drop this opacity down. Hey, what's going on, Fox? I want to make a walk. Glad to hear it. So just tapping in this long, it's just stippling, but it's a specific shaped brush for the stippling that creates the texture. See, it doesn't take a lot to make the bark, not at all. And I'm on the wrong fucking layer again. Fuck my life, man. All right, well. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's leave it be. Oops. Yeah, we're gonna leave that be. I gotta remember my layers. Firing my layers. And shit. There we go. Over
here. This one is that one. Cool. We'll start over here, and then we'll work our way back over to the other side. Cool. Here, here. Let's see if this goes well. And this seems like the proper texture, color. I think this will probably work out. Let's dot some of that in there. Again, we don't need crazy techniques here. We're just tapping in some bark lines, and then we'll erase that a little bit here with the 20% strength eraser, just to trim it down to get that cylindrical curve look to it. There we go. There. Very easy. Here. You're looking a little haphazard here, buddy. Let's see if I can smooth you out a smidge. Uh-oh. Okay, that feels pretty good. Straightened up. Not so good. I need to. Yeah, we'll just we'll go with this. Where are we at? Yeah, we'll go with this darker color, but we'll use a lighter opacity on it. So something like. Maybe something like that. Thank you, Timely Timer. I got 20 minutes left, and we'll get the bark done today. Bark, 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 bark. What is going on? There we go. We can curve that up here like that. Fill that in. I'm mostly just narrating what I'm doing right now. I'm not actually holding any real conversation. That bothers me for the purposes of engagement and entertaining folks that are willing to hang out with me and watch what's going on here. I feel obligated to be entertaining beyond just the pixeling. But sometimes I just don't have anything in me. But I got to get the work done. I do this. I do this every day to guarantee that I'm moving forward with the project, at least some. And if I keep moving forward like this, bit by bit, eventually I run out of steps and I'm done. So I still have, I still need to do all the hyperlinks inside the main document, so that'll be quick navigatable. And there's a number of small, like incidental, like numerous side illustrations that need to fill in gaps and stuff. So while I'm working on this piece here in the mornings and in the evenings, I'm picking at other things. Like right now, I'm doing like monster art, you know, for the monster manual in the back of the book. So this isn't the only work that I do on this. This is just what you get to see me working on, because I think this is more entertaining than probably whatever it is that I'm working on offline. Like watching me watching me cut paste hyperlinks on blocks of text, that is worse than drawing paint. I would not curse you guys with that doldrum. Let's see. I feel like I want to go back up into here. Sniggly bit. That trunk is good. What do we got over here? That trunk also good. Here we go. And which trunk are you? Oh, very good. So we'll start here. Oops, wrong brush. There we go. Here a little bit to lighten that up. Indicate curvature of light around the trunk. The light source is off to the left. The right over this direction. My other left. And then we can thin this up a little bit. There we go. Easy peasy, nothing big. That is too strong of a shadow for the distance of this tree, but I can trim it down. So it's a good base. I stand behind that. I'm good with it. Let's just fill in the texture and just do the motion. Just go through the effort. Put the target in the center of the crosshairs and pull the trigger. Put the target in the center of the crosshairs and pull the trigger. Put the target in the center of the crosshairs and pull the trigger. It's just Evangelion exercises here. Working the mech, making it move. That feels like a very strong eraser. It feels stronger than I want it to be. Let's drop it down to 10% so I can really just whittle at it a little bit to get it pretty much to where I want it to be. So pick. Pick, trim it down. There, good. And we'll trim this up a little bit more here along the edges. Very faint. There we go. Trim this one up a little bit. All right, looking good. Last batch, and then we'll probably be done. Yeah, it's 7:40 now, so we'll maybe we'll get this done. I mean, we're gonna get this done, but the maybe is maybe I'll start working on shrubbery. That's gonna look good. Let's use the same light delete. Just the size of that brush, I can get that curve in a little bit better. There, very good. Clean that up while I'm seeing it, so don't forget about it. There was a windstorm over the weekend here in Seattle, and there's some beautiful birch trees outside my patio that lost some branches. So I have them sitting in my fireplace drying, and I am looking forward to making a fire out of that probably tomorrow. I bet they'll be dried out enough that I can start kindling them tomorrow. I have a wood burning fireplace, and I just love it. I prefer using my my fireplace in the wintertime to heat my home. Wood's a little pricey, so it ends up being a mix of space heat, like floor space heater, and fireplace. That's typically all I really need to make sure that the home stays warm. Put that down 10% there. There we go. That feels pretty good. I can trim that up a little bit more. Yeah, we can use this color for this brand, for this bark. Very good.
Dot this in. And 10% eraser, let's go. Drop this in here like that. Very subtle.
And that finishes those off. I have a need.
Eraser, 100%.
Let's clean up these.
Trees back here just to make them look a little bit more, a little cleaner. Back to 100% and clean up that edge. Good. And here. Good. Good. Okay, everyone else looks fine.
Let's take this back down to the 70% where it was at. There we go. There. I think that all looks pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
How are we sitting? 7:49. It is almost time for us to kick. So the trees are done. Long live the trees. Now we can start working on shrubbery and low to the ground stuff. I'm going to switch back to my eraser here. Switch back to my round tool here. Trim that down.
little bits like that. So, put that one there for the lulz for the moment. Okay, so we are now at a point where I'm going to start adding in shrubbery. So I've got that little sapling there. Maybe I'll have another sapling here or there, but I don't want to particularly focus on that specifically. The next thing I want to do is, I am like damn near out of time, but I'm going to need to get another I'm going to need to get another photo reference. So let's see if I can go find one real quick. Shrubbery forest. Ooh, I bet this one's gonna work. How's those saturation levels? I bet they're similar. Ooh, that's really saturated. This is a lot more muted. It doesn't get ridiculous until it gets into the sunlight. So maybe if I stay away from the sun, I can keep into this space here. Something like that. Let's see if I can make that work. What I'm going to do initially is take our conifer brush that we've used for the for some of the leaves topside. That's my timer. Actually, let's go with sort of foliage brush for now. This brush, here's how the shape of this brush looks. It's just a bunch of dots. But I have it on a scatter array. There's a jitter that causes it to rotate. See, it rotated and changed its size. So whenever I tap, it spins the brush and changes the size of it. So when I clump them all together, it ends up looking, well, right now it just looks like a pixely mess, but we're working on it. See, I'm just tapping in here to build up density. Like I can take this, I could actually just, let's erase that real quick and go back into here just to demonstrate how effectively this sits. Like super simple, very, very simple brush, but it's really fucking effective. That might be a little bit more dense than I want. And then we just trim all the really weird bits. And then same erase. There, that's good for now. So when we come back tomorrow, we're going to be doing a lot of this all along this line here. We'll also be doing ground texture and dirt and ground flora. I will have some more shrubbery probably off here in the distance here, but this is how it starts. This is where we begin.
Yeah, it has about the same saturation as the canopy above, so that's actually probably gonna work out.
All right, that's it for now, guys. Thanks all for tagging in with me today, everybody. I stream Monday through Fridays in the morning like this, and then I do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights. If you think this stuff was cool and you want to catch more of this tomorrow, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, notifications, do all the things. Check out the books down below. Be welcome to join my Discord community. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot for being here. Cheers.